I think with every freshman that come in, thinking they're going to come in and start, like I was saying, be a freshman All-American, this and that. And I think Tanner has understood that he had J-Ron and TJ in front of him. So he had to embrace whatever role he's handed to him. So he ended up redshirting, put on a lot of weight, a lot of good weight and muscle. I think he's weighing around 220 right now. And Tanner's a freak athlete. I think his body will be able to take care of himself. I think if he gets himself to a point, he can learn the defense and be able to make quick decisions. I think that's where he'll be able to play. He's definitely on the road to doing that. I think he definitely has. I think all of us on our team have more work to do. I think, including him. But I think definitely this year he'll have an opportunity to play. I think when he gets the opportunity, he'll make the most of it.
In the long run, is it an advantage to have guys in front of you? You know, maybe you don't get to play right away, but for Tanner, J-Ron and TJ, for you as the linebacker when you came in. As the maturation continues through school, is it an advantage to have those guys in front of them before you get a bigger role?
Yeah, I think with me, it definitely helped me out. I can't really speak on the guys coming in and being a freshman All-American, like me coming in as Christian Wilkins and going to play 400 snaps freshman year. Because I haven't experienced that, so I can't really speak on that. But for me, having to basically only play 80 snaps my freshman year and basically just do special teams, it was a humbling experience. It taught me a lot. Basically, it's not all about me. There's a lot of great ball players out there. You got to do your time. You got to be patient and put in the hard work. I think we do that. Soon, more quicker, your opportunity will come. I think I embraced that. I knew what I had to do. I think whenever my opportunity came against Louisville my sophomore year, I made the most of it.
Going through that, did that kind of make you even more ready for what you are now as kind of maybe the face of the Clemson defense and kind of being a leader and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, no, I think it definitely helped me out in just the maturation process, just sitting behind all those guys, learning from Stephon, Tony, Shuey, Grady Jarrett, all those guys. It definitely helped me out and made me the man I am today. Being coached by Coach Reynolds every day. It's stressful. He's a scary individual. He's also very intelligent. He loves the game of football. He's a football guru, but he also loves his players. He knows when to take it back a notch if he needs to, and just take you aside and talk to you if you ever need anything. And I think that's where he helped me out when I was struggling my sophomore year. Like, didn't know if this was right for me, if Clemson was the place I wanted to be. So he kind of took on that father role, just kind of talking to me, just giving me any advice that I needed. I think just being around such great leadership at Clemson, with Coach Sweeney, Coach Venables, and all the great players we've had here, it's easy to go through that maturation process. We have so much help around us.
And can you tell me, do you feel like now is kind of your time to step up and lead the league?
Yeah, I mean, I think last year was definitely kind of helped me out for this year, just because that's kind of one of my first years being on the start 15 games. But I definitely had help with BJ and J-Ron and Shaq and all those guys. So I think it's definitely my role to now bring the other guys along, bring Carlos along, Tootie, Cordray, no one knows him as Tootie, Cordray, Jadar, Kendall, and all those guys, bring them along. But I'm embracing the role. I've been through a lot of roles since I've been here, and I'm embracing this one more than anyone.
Speaking of two guys you need to bring along, Trey Lamar, Shaq Smith, can you talk about what you saw out of those two in the spring and what their future looks like?
Yeah, and I think their future is very bright. I think the football will take care of itself because they're blessed with beautiful football bodies. But I think they're so mature. Just coming in here, they knew how hard they had to work. They knew what they had to do in the film room. They knew what they had to do in school. They're way farther along than I was my freshman year. And I can't even imagine the accolades and the awards that you'll see from them in the next 4 years.
What's it like to be here, to be this representative for Clemson defense, to know that you are the face now of this unit?
No, it's cool, man. I guess it proves I'm doing something right. Coach Sweeney allowed me to come here. He's probably nervous whenever I'm doing interviews. I don't want to say something stupider. But no, like I was saying, I'm embracing this role. I've been given a lot of roles in the past 4 years, and I'm embracing this one. It's a fun experience seeing all these guys, talking to all y'all, get to see Charlotte. So it's been fun. I'm looking forward to I'm more looking forward to more about putting the pads on it and playing Auburn September 3rd.
Last year was so much fun. Is there one moment that stands out, whether it's stopping Notre Dame at the goal line or the national championship game, that you just really remember?
Well, I wish I could say the Alabama game, but we lost. So that kind of sucks. But I think all those big games, just being able to make an impact in those games, Notre Dame, Florida State, Oklahoma, just playing in all those big games and being able to contribute, make plays. But probably the Notre Dame game, just because I don't like. Now you probably can make a movie out of that entire week, just playing in a tornado, playing Notre Dame, and then the 2-point conversion stop, and the whole game just been raining the whole time. That whole experience was mind-boggling. It was just, I'll never forget that.
Will you be okay if you don't have to play in a hurricane this year, though?
Yeah, I would much rather not have to play in a hurricane. I would definitely prefer sunshine. That'd be a lot easier.
Then that position of going from, you guys were outside the top 10 and going all the way through making it to the title game. How do you approach this year in terms of, you didn't win it all, you didn't do the ultimate, but it was still quite a ride that I'm sure a lot of you guys couldn't have imagined last August.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. I mean, a lot of the guys I think why we've been so successful at Clemson is because we're really not worried about what the outsiders are saying or what the ranking is. We're focused on Clemson. We're focused on us. I know it's probably cliche to most of y'all because y'all hear it from Coach Swinney all the time, but it's so true. Like every one of our guys are focused on us, focused on our game plan, how we work, how we prepare. When we play any opponent, it's a nameless, faceless opponent. We don't care who we're playing or what our ranking is. We want to play to our standard. If we do play to our standard, I think we're unbeatable.
To that point, though, a lot of times in previous years, there was that disrespect angle where, boy, not supposed to be Florida State, not supposed to be the title game. It's going to be quite the opposite this year. As a team, how do you handle being expected to be in the playoff of the year?
Now, speaking for me personally, I don't care. I can care less if we're ranked 120th or number 1. I know how I'm going to prepare for each week, how I'm going to go about my business. So I can care less what they rank us. I know how I'm going to work, how Coach Venables is going to work, how Deshaun's going to work, and Coach Swinney's going to work. I know if we work to the standard and the level we're capable of doing, they'll take care of itself.
Does it help that you don't have a lot of defensive players who were starters last year, that there's not going to be as much of an entitlement for newer starters?
I guess. I don't know. I think a lot of those guys are eager to get on the field. I mean, I think they're young, but I think we have so much more depth on this defense than we had last year. I think this defense, we definitely don't have the same experience we had my sophomore year. The depth we had my sophomore year, I think, is very similar with this one. I think last year we had a lot of experience, but we had no depth at all. The drop-off from the 1s and 2s was unreal. I mean, if me or Shaq or Don went out, and who knows who's going in. The freshman is probably not ready. And that's no disrespect to them, but they just weren't ready for that role. And I think this year's defense, we have a lot of competitive depth. I think the experience they'll grow and mature each and every game. I think just we have so much depth at all 3 levels. I don't think none of those guys feel, even the guys that are returning, I don't think any of them feel entitled or think they're owed something. I think they just know how to work. They're going to go about their business every week. And if they do that, then the work will take care of itself.
You talked about how physically gifted Trey and Shaq were.
Sorry, everyone else.
You talked about how physically gifted Trey and Shaq are. Do you get the feeling that from a cerebral standpoint, they're just as mature and will be ready to contribute, come the end of August, or do they have to go through the same learning curve as everybody else?
I think the learning, the knowledge, I think they're learning a lot quicker than a lot of guys. They're special people. I think they're going to have unreal careers here just because they have it all together. The physical size, the maturity, the knowledge. I think whatever happens, they just got to make the most of it. I think Trey will probably. I really don't know, honestly. You never know what happens in August during fall camp. But I think whatever role they're given, they'll make the most out of it. That was a crappy answer. I'm sorry.
that's-
I was like trying to think like that was terrible. I wouldn't put that on
We've
you.
got plenty more chances.
You've been building and building and building as a team, and last year you accomplished so much. I guess what's different this year, because there's only one more spot to go. There's only, if you win another ACC championship, you did it last year. How does that change the entire season?
And I think the fact that we lost the last game, the national championship leaves a big enough chip on our shoulder to override any of those other games we won. I think if we would have won the last game, we definitely had been more likely to be complacent this year because we'd have done it all in 15-0, been one of the best teams in college football history. We'd have accomplished everything. So the fact that we lost the biggest game of our career, I think just leaves a big enough chip on our shoulder to allow us to push through the whole season. We got 14 games, and we didn't finish. So I think that just taught us a lot of life lessons about finishing, continuing to work, not getting complacent. I think the fact that we went 14-1 will help us out this year.
In the
Talked
locker
with a lot of
room after
guys.
the game. Go ahead.
I've talked with a lot of guys the last couple of days about what makes Deshaun Watson such a dangerous player. As someone who sees him every day and goes against him in practice, from your perspective, what is it that makes him so dangerous to other defenses?
He's very intelligent. He's able to pick apart defenses. He can tell. He knows his reads really quick. He can read what your alignment is, or this or that. He's just a very intelligent individual. He understands how quick and how fragile a football career is, and he understands how good he is. So I think he's trying to make the most out of his football career, and that's why he invests so much time into it. I think that's what allows him to be so good because he's focused on football, and he knows defenses in and out. He's just a gifted individual.
In the locker room after that loss to Alabama, I remember Jay Guillermo was already putting that disappointment aside and looking ahead to the season, saying, I can't wait for Matt drills. Carlos Watkins the same. Can you put into words your feelings as you were taking off the pads and the helmet? Were you already thinking I want another shot at this, or was the disappointment still too fresh?
After the game, I cried like a little baby. My body was killing me. Shoulder was. I played for one arm the past 4 games. I just was ready to take a break because this was a long, not stressful, but just an emotional season. Just going through all the stuff we went through. So I wasn't looking forward to it. I was just mad we lost. I was disappointed in how we played as a defense. I think we were the reason that we lost that game because the defense played like crap. So I was just disappointed in how I played, how the rest of our defense played. And so I wasn't focused on Matt drills. I was thinking about that game, for probably the next month or so.
You talked about that mentality that you have, that you prepare for every game the same way, no matter who the opponent is. How crucial do you think that's been to your individual